Battle to the death, fighting till I take my last breath, till there's nothing left, till this flesh, till this past. Got up on the fence, henceforth this and that. I was lost, now a friend, now a force with the pen for the Lord.
Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome to Marrio Esco Live. I am your host, Marrio Esco, and alongside me is my good friend, co-host, Gil Vargas. What up?
Yo, what up, what up? Oh, there goes the racial song. There goes the racial song. That is a racial song. That is race.
Yeah, that is race. I guess that's how Gil ended that. Welcome to the Marrio Esco Live Show. Shout out to our audience. We love y'all. Shout out to our listeners. Hold on a second. Let me put my... I don't know why I got my Mr. Rogers voice on. Right, guys? Let me take off my shoes.
It's a lovely day.
I think that's why. I think that's why, because I actually have my shoes off. I'm like mad comfortable right now.
Won't you be
you see?
My neighbor?
I actually got my socks on. So
he's actually in his socks. Y'all saw his stanky
shout out to our listeners. GH3
kind of
Radio, 520 Radio,
you
Godfearing, The Bridge Radio, our YouTube subscribers, we love y'all. Facebook, Twitch, the Unashamed Network, our podcasters, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podbean, wherever you listen to us. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all for listening. Go check out d2lproductions.com. We got some new merch available there. Also, you can cop my new single available there as well. Feeling Like Grass is up and available.
Dopest track in 2020.
Let me
about to
show
say
you the snap. We got some
1920.
snapback hats right there. Different colors. We got black, we got red, we got all different colors, stuff like that. Check it out. We also got the shirts available right there. Hold up, where is it? Boom. Different colors as well. Red, black, navy blue, a few others. It's to the new single that I dropped, Feeling Like Grass. There's the cover up there. Shout out to 520 and all the individuals who reached out to me and are showing love and spreading the word and just sharing how much is blessing them. It's dope. It blessed me, man. Real talk is a very vulnerable state where the Lord was just shattering all the idols of my heart and leaving me just with nothing, bro. And, you know, it was birthed from that. It was birthed from I think it's like it holds the Ecclesiastes theme. Like it kind of has that vanity. You know, I don't know why I'm an artist like that. I'm a vanity of vanities artist. I don't.
But that's
like, you know, like I'm always like
season you was in, bro. Like
there seems to be an endless season that I'm in. It's like a long season. I thought this was like 4 seasons a year. It's not supposed.
It's 4.
It's like this. It's like this one season for the last 20 years of my life. Like, thank you, Lord.
But the track, I mean, it obviously it came from a real spot.
No,
It came from a real spot, and it definitely is.
You know what it is, bro?
conveyed.
You know what it is? It's a casting the burdens on the Lord. So in a broken state, it was my transition of this burden and finally just giving up pride and ego and all that and just saying, I have nothing. Like this is all I got, my Lord. And by his power, man, that came through. And I think it resonated a lot with the people that have been reaching out to me, telling me that they've been having it on repeat. And that's super encouraging. And I'm at a different space now. And I hope and I pray that all artists can get to this point, and praise God for those that already are, but where you just create music just out of the pure desire to honor God and bless the people. Like that's it. You know, it's a different way of producing music. It's freeing. It's enjoyable. It's like you have you don't have those chains of, how many views am I going to get? Like it's completely like it don't matter. You know what I mean? Like when you create something that you know is fire, like because it came from a real place in your heart, like, it's a piece of your soul, bro. Like it don't matter what people think. You know that you're communicating your praise and your worship to God. So anyway,
that does bring a very freeing aspect to it.
Yeah. The song. I hope that wasn't. Did that sound like I was gassing myself up? I hope not, babe. Did that sound like
It was a humble brag.
I didn't want it to be a humble brag. I honestly wanted to be encouraging to the artist to get to that point.
But what you're saying is not the actual track that is fire. It's when an artist gets in touch with that side of himself, that creative side that doesn't care about the world or what people think, is just creating freely. You know that track is fire.
Right.
And it doesn't matter what anybody thinks because you're not adhering to the world's rules. It's just you, your art, and your God.
Facts. So definitely go check that out. Check out the merch.
I speak Mario.
Thank you, bro.
If you guys want to subscribe, go to D2L Productions. Look under Mario language. You can subscribe.
I don't know how I have a show. I really don't understand. But go check out our merch.
You sign up for language class.
Go check out our the song there. And Gil's in the process of lining some things up between him and his producer with some music as well. Yeah. So we're in the process of releasing some stuff. We're not in a position where we're building up to build, to do these albums and stuff. So for right now with the show and our family and everything that's going on, we want to be faithful with all these things. So for now we're, at least we can pump out these singles for you.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Can't wait to show you guys my stuff. It's going to be dope.
Yeah.
Just got to clear the back end stuff and everything's going to be legit.
Facts. And I'm excited about those tracks too. I think we leaked a few every now and then. If you're true followers of the Marrio Esco Live, you probably heard all of them at some point. But but you got to go back and dig in the crates, I guess, like the Marrio Esco Live crates.
Yeah.
Please don't.
Please don't.
I'm growing.
We're not gonna get anything for the streams.
Yeah, I'm growing. Recap last episode 102. Sofrito Bondage.
Facts. Every time I hear them titles, man, I keep wondering how would we come up with them.
It's really Goyi. Shout out to Goyi.
Goyi.
Oh, my bad. Hey. That really wasn't on point. That really wasn't on purpose.
That is the racial.
I meant this one.
That is the racial.
My bad. I meant the hand claps. Sorry.
I'm gonna sing that every single time you play it from now on.
Goyi seems to be throwing out all these titles at us during the live, and we're just like, yo, that's dope. Let's grab that.
Sofrito Bondage.
We talked about Lecrae dropping his Deep End project. I don't know. Have you heard anything from them?
I haven't heard anything about it. Like if it got
you see how things come and go. Like it's a new week.
Yo, for real, man.
Yeah, we talk about Sean King and take down the white Jesus statues and the European, Christian stained glass windows and all that. We talked a little bit about the concept of slavery, which I was very uncomfortable with, by the way.
That's why, in a sense, going mainstream could be very detrimental.
It could be. Like, we're free, bro. Like,
you know what I mean? Like, if we created, let's say we created our own Christian hip hop magazine, or like a world publication just as big as these CNNs and all that, but it's a Christian network. Like, then we could just focus on those things. But you want to put yourself mainstream, now you got to compete with Corona. You got to compete with statues being turned down, protesters, and crime over here, murder over there, missing person. Go ahead, compete with all that. Try to create a song that tops citizens tearing down a statue in park.
Yo, that's why you just got to be inspired, bro. Like, just, you know what I mean? Like, you can't. I don't like when you can clearly see how people are getting stuck to those trends. And then it just, everything after that just seems totally disingenuous. Like, it's
at this point now, you know what everybody's track is going to be. It's like coronavirus. He's going to create a song about the coronavirus. Watch. And this swine. And then,
hold up. And then in between, it's holidays. It's like, we already know.
Yep. Holidays. Let's all do rap.
Here comes the Christmas time.
It's becoming predictable, man.
Let's do that. Yeah, it used to be the artists used to be inspired by whatever it was that inspired them, and they shared that and they brought you into their world, which Kanye West seems to be doing. But let's not. Okay,
yeah, we're going ahead. We're going ahead.
So we talked a little bit about all that. If you're interested in any of all that stuff, go check out the last episode. And forgive me. Just talking about slavery, I felt very uncomfortable. There's a few things that I want to not retract, but kind of correct. I don't know if that's the same thing, but I made it when we were talking about biblical slavery. I made it appear to be like the slave relationship with the master was like beneath the master, where in all actuality it wasn't beneath the master. It was a mutual agreement between the both. It was a servanthood and a service that they did have something to offer. I made it seem like they had nothing to offer. They don't got nothing. Like, he has everything. Like, I kind of like, so I wanted to correct that. Nah, the dude has something to offer. Matter of fact, when Paul meets, what's his name? Philemon. How do you pronounce that book, bro? Is it Philemon?
Yeah.
Or is that like the Spanish tongue? Is it? And the real way is
every
Philemon.
time I've heard it from
and they're looking at Philemon. What is he must be Puerto Rican. He likes to pronounce.
He always reminds me of that commercial.
He likes to pronounce his eyes.
You remember that? That Philemon. Philemon. Always reminded me of that.
Philemon.
Or Jamaican.
Where Paul is talking to the slave in the jail. And then he writes the letter to the master, and he says, at one point he was useless, but now he can be useful for you. He it was a word play on his name. At one point he was useless, now he can be useful. Slave-master relationship. Take him back. So, yeah,
that was a unique concept that I didn't know occurred in the Bible, like that the slave eventually would be freed by
Josh, what up, my brother?
And then they can choose to freely be under their master. But now they are more like part of the family because they're offering their servitude at, you know what I'm saying, like no payment, no nothing. They're just freely giving.
Yeah.
And then they would pierce their ear as like a form of...
Yeah. You're talking about the year Jubilee.
Yeah.
Where they would...
that concept I didn't know existed.
Oh, yeah. They would wipe everything clean. So whatever you owed was wiped clean.
Yep.
And then you had the choice. You had the choice of being free, leaving, or you continue to serve your master. And yeah, like you were saying, most of the people who were treated well and loved the relationship that they had, they would continue to serve willingly. Yeah. Some of them to the point of death. Like they didn't want to leave them.
Yeah, because they're like family. You know? I'm sure you're not going to stay with the ones that beat you.
Right. It's different times. But anyway, so if you're interested in anything like that, go check out the last episode, 102, Sofrito Bondage. Yeah. We're going to jump into a skit real quick. This is Coffee Drop featuring Manny. I'm sorry, I'm out of skits, guys. So it's repeats. Let's go. Yo. Word, that's what I'm talking about.
Got you a coffee, bro. Dude, you all right, bro? You good?
Yeah, I'm good, man.
You all right?
Whoa. All right, cool.
Dude, you sure you all right,
I'm good, man. I'm good. Come on.
All right, bro.
Come on, man. I'm good. Oh!
Dude, you owe me $2, man.
Dope. Coffee drop. Me, Manny. Fun times.
You
could tell I'm not in the
some serious sound effects.
Is that like is there a term for the E?
I don't know. That reminds me of like
Hitman?
Gladiator movies.
I was thinking Hitman when he comes out, like, you know what I mean? Like, when he comes out the coffin with his two.
Oh yeah. That's another
slow mo. The white doves fly off. Yeah. You can hear the flap.
Or they're trying to get artsy. When they're trying to get artsy, and it's like a diving
he has a long trench coat.
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes they get really artsy with it when the guy's diving in the air with it.
Facts. Everything he shoots in front has glass. Some reason is breaking through.
They were outside and now they're in offices.
Slow mo. It's just
like, well, you were outside.
It's just random window holders. Just hold on a sec. We gotta make this look super dramatic. Just random.
They look to the left, it's just a bunch of guys. It's not even a sound effect.
Oh my goodness. You see the green screen in the back. Hold on. This is real life.
Garage?
This is really happening, man. Like, where'd the film crew come from? This is really going down.
Dang.
Good intro. What up, people? What's going on?
Maybe we should do the skits on the show.
Share the show.
So we can get more skits.
Thank y'all for coming through. No special guests today. We have some tracks we're going to share. Some things we're going to chop it up about. Okay, so going to what we were... Yeah. What was that segue that we did? That was like the perfect segue into what we were talking about.
Kanye. You were talking about CHH, and then you said, well, Kanye is just switching it up. Like, he's not sounding...
Okay, thank you. So Kanye releases a new track, Wash Us in the Blood, featuring Travis Scott. Does an official music video. It's out there. Kanye's still staying true to his direction. He's still seeking it from what it sounds like to honor God. Like I don't hear anything blasphemous. I don't hear anything heretical. I hear Kanye just simple praises and worship, doing it in the Kanye way, with the Kanye swag, with the Kanye style. And what I mean by that
video is very strange, though.
Everything's
very strange.
Kanye has always been the one to make up his own rules, bro. He's always been the one to go against the grain and do the most unorthodox, out of the box ideas.
Yeah.
From the way that he samples music, the way that he creates it, the way that he carries it. Like, to him, it really is a paintbrush and a canvas. Like, that's how Kanye views music. There's no age for him. That there's no like, oh, I'm going to retire. Like, he's not in the mainstream of hip hop. In that mentality, like the rules, the standards that are there. It's a young man's game. It's you got to be this way. You got to sound that way. Kanye, it's art for him. It's literally a form of expression for him. This is literally who he is as a person. This is not for gimmicks. This is not for even an audience. And I think that's what makes him
a lot of people
a really dope artist.
With you on that one. The gimmicks. They all think.
Oh, they think that it is all gimmicks. Yeah, they think everything that he's doing is gimmicky. You know why it appears to be so gimmicky? Because it's completely outside the box. Look at the video that he just did. If you guys see this video,
to be like the people who say it's gimmicky, I think I would agree if it was just a one-on thing. Like, for an example, Snoop Dogg actually came out with a gospel album. That was gimmicky because he only did it one time and that was it. He got his money, got his little award, also somehow got a Dove Award, and then dipped.
That's
not something that he's aspiring to do. It's just a one-off thing, piece. Where Kanye has already produced, this is his third or fourth project?
I'm going to bug you out. What if I told you that there is a way for you to submit your music in the digital world at a special website that only a few have access to, and they create these accounts, and these accounts on these websites already have the back access to all the mainstream avenues or whatever for music, all the mainstream avenues for music, marketing, promotion, all the top. What if I told you there was a website that you just literally, just because you have an account, when you're ready to drop your music, you just drop it through this little funnel online and it automatically guarantees like success as far as views and hits and all this stuff, simply because it's already connected to all the funnels that make it a hit, that make a song front and center. What if I told you that? It wasn't a matter of, like you just said, Snoop Dogg came in, did a gospel track, and won all kinds of awards. So what, he just creeps in and does his thing? Like, everyone's going to say, oh, well, he's Snoop Dogg. It's not just that. It's the processes that he understands with the money to back it up. It's the systems that are in place. Every system that you funnel your music to costs money. Every system. And there's a lot of them out there. If you got a fire track, then you have a better chance of your music making it further because you utilize the systems that get it in front of people, and then boom. And then, if producers come across it, or a film director comes across your music, he wants to license your music, or a commercial deal comes through, or, you know what I'm saying? If it's fire music, if you're producing fire music and you utilize these systems, you can get further. Bro, Aha Gazelle says that he's quitting social media. As an example. And then we'll jump back to Kanye. All right? Okay. Let's take a quick pause. Let's go to Aha Gazelle because it just fits. He tweets, follow me on SoundCloud, subscribe to me on YouTube, follow me on Spotify and Apple Music. There will be a time where I won't be on social media anymore, but I'll still be dropping loads of music. I no longer have the urge to be famous or liked, so these mediums don't serve me anymore. I'm done. Is that to say that the mediums are there to make you famous? I'm just asking. I'm just throwing that out there. Is that to say that the mediums are there to make you famous?
I wouldn't say they're there to make you famous. I would say they are tools in assisting you to become famous, because, I mean, their job is to expose you to as many people as possible. And stardom is created by making as many people possible know who you are. Therefore, they can sell you merch and stuff like that, which is why anyone who has large numbers are looked at as advertising, basically. So it's just about the numbers, really.
Mm-hmm. So you think that social media is only served for the numbers?
Yeah. Like if you want to get exposed, that's where you want to go.
But what about communicating your brand? And now people say the brand, like as a Christian,
communicating your brand would be
as a Christian, your brand is really who you are, right? Like you're really just letting the people know. My brand is Marrio. Like I guess like that's what the world says, the brand. But I'm Marrio. I'm the artist. Hi everyone. Like I'm the creative. And the way we look at it is like just not building your brand, but just building your relationships. You know what I mean? Like posting your stuff to give people a little bit of behind the scenes about who you are as a person. How else are you going to do that with your audience?
Yeah.
You know, how else are you going to build that relationship with every single person? You can't. It's impossible. So you give them a little bit of a sneak peek into your life using social media.
Yeah.
Building relationships. Not necessarily.
Well, that's what it was originally
numbers,
about.
You know?
Originally when it first started, especially like Facebook started at a college. You know, for college, students to connect with each other, teachers and stuff like that. It was about that, connecting.
Yeah.
And then it became this humongous just factory of people, you know, and now it's just, there's no connections really. Now it's just how many numbers you got, how many friends you got.
Everybody's a famous person. Everybody's a celebrity. Everybody's an influencer. Everybody have a podcast. Everybody have... Everybody
is the whole point rap. Is look at me.
Everybody sing.
That's what it's about.
Everybody write a blog.
And if you look at it and say, no, that's not what it is. Okay, so then explain to me, why are you taking a picture of your food and posting it?
It's funny because it's everything that we're doing. It's just like
it's
like everybody.
But I'm saying this is what it is. This is what it is. It's about, hey, check this out.
Do you think we sort of got stuck in that?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Do you think we started the Marrio Esco Live at first like, yo, it makes sense to do this, and then we just got stuck with it, and now we're just like, all right, well, we got an audience. like let's be faithful with our audience.
But you know what happens is it becomes genuine when you really do it in the midst of being a father, being a parent in general,
reporting live from Revelation.
And taking care of your actual full time, and then on top of that, doing the show, like it becomes reality. Like, what are the things you really strive for?
I bet you, if I was to fast forward all the clips from my show, like over time, if we keep going, you could literally see me age. Like you fast forward the whole show, you see me like,
and our beards
like,
are like,
mad, like you see us get mad old. Some reason we never switch up the scene. Everything's rotting and like, why are they still there? It's an abandoned house.
Turn off.
The lights turn off.
And it's just us. You just see our shadow.
It's all the Revelation weather comes through. No
meteors. No. We're still over here like, yo man, this is crazy.
No. Okay. Aha Gazelle is quitting social media.
Aha.
Because he doesn't care about the fame and the fortune. What else do you think could be inspiring this? Because it's funny how I'm seeing people like that were really loud on social media.
Yeah.
Including myself, that I wasn't as loud as everyone else, but I had a presence.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that I see a common thing going on here?
Because people that are trying to pull, who are trying to create a narrative, it's getting harder and harder for them to hide their tracks.
What do you mean?
Like it's just becoming more and more obvious that there's a narrative being pushed.
And they don't want to be sucked into having to address a narrative that they're not even inspired to address in the moment.
Facts. So a lot of people just like, yo, this is becoming too much. Narrative.
I got kids to feed.
Yeah,
I got a job to work.
Life to
I got
live.
bills to pay.
I'm like, before social media was like a break.
Get ready.
Because everybody looked their best on social media. Everybody was always popping.
Priorities,
you know? So then everybody went to Facebook and all these things to kind of escape. Like, you know what? I'm going to go on here and escape.
Good point.
Like, I don't want monotonous life. I just want to get in Facebook, see what's everybody doing, be nosy, look at people's food. And now you go on there and you're like, boom, Black Lives, boom, this, oh, boom, injustice, boom, this crime, boom, that crime. Yeah. You're like, oh my goodness, I want to go protest. Yeah. Like, I just got home from work. It's just so much coming at you in every angle that now social media is becoming tiring. And now people are just like, yo, I'm done. I'm done. Like, I don't have the energy to defend, to uplift, to correct. I just, man, I'm done, you know? And then, because if you don't say anything, you're the wrong. If you say something and you don't say it perfectly, you're canceled. So it's like you lose. Yeah. So what's the point? They've took the fun out of having Facebook and being able to freely speak and just have an open dialogue. They took that all away. Now you can't. People getting canceled left and right. Yeah. I've heard of people losing their job of the posts.
Oh my goodness, bro. It's like a war. It's like a digital warfare.
I've heard of people losing their job because their wives posted something crazy against, a organization. And the husband ended up getting fired. Like, your wife is wilding, so crazy. Guess what?
I was about to say something super crazy, but
You're fired.
But my wife is right there, so I'm gonna...
What were you gonna say? Now you all have us.
No.
Waiting.
We get canceled. You ain't getting me. You ain't getting me. All right? Oh. You ain't getting me.
You got us wondering.
Yeah, man. Well,
yeah, man.
Aha Gazelle continues.
That's crazy.
It's always been about the music and the message for me. That's all.
But
Twitter, IG, and everything else is fun and helpful. Don't get me wrong, but I moved on. I don't plan on leaving soon, but just give a heads up. My account will still be ran, but not by me directly. So
I think he feels like everybody else is lost his luster, but he sees the importance of having it as an artist and as a person that is promoting his music to the masses. That's a necessary thing. So he's kind of handing over all those things to his team, which is fine. Because if you're a fan, then you're going to stay in contact to stay in touch with his work. I think a lot of artists, especially the older artists, actually hate the fact that there's so much easy access to people. Kind of lose the mystery. I think we've talked about this before too. And now this is kind of heading in that same direction. If you think about it, more and more artists and people are kind of going away from managing their stuff.
Yeah.
Which makes sense to me. Be more creative. You'll be able to get more done if you're not worried about what you're posting.
More productive.
And, man, how many likes am I going to get with this lasagna? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just do what you do. Do what you love to do. And
in all honesty, a lot of people are selling dreams. So it makes everybody...
All the advertisements is like, somehow if you click on one thing, may God rest your soul, because you're going to see it on your timeline like crazy.
Honest to God, the business to get into, like if you want to talk about just success, just simply success.
Yeah.
What works? What's working? The business to get into is selling dreams. The business to get into is everybody's trying to get somewhere. If you're smart, then you create a system that almost guarantees or promises them some kind of success, and then you just sell them a dream.
Mm-hmm.
That's the business to get into. If you want to, if you're just looking at purely just what works, really, it's kind of deceptive because you're feeding off of a sinful desire of fame and fortune and a desire to want to be accepted, a desire for how you call it, not acceptance, but not credibility. What's the word I'm looking for?
Validation.
Validated. Yeah. So a desire to be validated, whatever. Like, so you know that the people have this tendency, this natural desire, and then you kind of manipulate and create this service that says, hey, you could come over here and get all the desires of your heart and we can make it happen for you. You know what I mean? If you use this.
Some of them are mad obvious about it. Like, do you want to drive this car? Do you want to have this type of woman in your life?
I mean, I guess
click below. And
I guess it's just the obvious
get into my webinar where I'm only accepting 5 people.
Yes,
5 people with 3 fingers, and I'm like, wait.
Yes,
This dude just said 5 people with 3 fingers, and he's gonna teach me about what?
So I'm gonna make
all of you rich.
This dude's gonna
make all of you. It's a proven system using Amazon, and I'm gonna teach you how to get out of your lifestyle. Do you hate your lifestyle right now?
Do you wake up in the morning?
Do you wake up hungry?
Do you go to sleep at night?
Then obviously this is a program for you.
Do you eat?
The fitness ones are just as bad.
Do you want success?
The fitness ones are just as bad. Do you desire a body that you never had?
Duh. That's why I was looking for you.
Or how about this one? Are you tired of going to the gym?
Yeah. Do you want to lose pounds?
Do you want to lose weight and do nothing at all?
Oh my goodness, dude. And so then they sell you dreams. So I think people are waking up. I think Aha Gazelle, salute
in 90 days.
Salute and hand claps to Aha Gazelle, bro. You're onto something. I love where you're going with it. You're staying faithful to your calling, what you feel you're gifted for, to bless the people. And you don't want the distractions to go with it, bro. I think that's something that's applaudable, bro.
Yeah,
that's something that we should salute, and more people should take note. More artists should take note. Creative tip, I guess. Don't get boggled down with the numbers and all this other stuff, man. Like literally, we aren't like it's stuff that we know, and I say it, and it's like it's so elementary. But I guess this is the show where we just speak elementary facts.
It's elementary.
I'm an elementary kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? Like. The obvious. Sometimes we need the obvious, because sometimes I'm so stubborn. You know what I mean? Like it takes me like almost 3 to 5 years to come full circle to a verse I already knew.
Yep. Or something that I told you to do.
And it's like you read, you read all these chapters in 5 years. Like you read all this, you went through all these chapters with your church. You read with your family. You went through all this stuff. You couldn't even get this one verse. Like you couldn't even understand this one verse. Took you 10 years to break you down just to understand this one verse. It's like you just pass it and you just grab it and you think you know it and you run with it until bam, you hit a wall and now you got to use it.
Honestly, even if you do get it somewhat, haven't you noticed that each time you read the word, you get a new meaning every time you read it?
Well, some people will immediately
you get something new from it.
Some people would immediately have red flags and be like, you got a new meaning of the scripture? You shouldn't be getting new meanings.
Like you get a different perspective. Like for an example, like when you were telling me, in a different conversation, that now that you're a father of 3 kids, there's certain things in the word that actually hit you harder now because you're a father now.
Facts.
So that's what I mean. Like each time you read it,
a different perspective because you're at a different point of life, so you have a different view.
So now you see that scripture, even though the foundation of that is the same, it hits you differently because now it's more profound. You connect with it more because it's something you've either lived through or experienced. So now you connect with it more. Where before you read it and you just understood it, you were like, oh yeah, I know what he's trying to say.
Right. So
it's a different thing when you read it and you're like, dang. I went through that.
So forgive me if I'm like asking the most craziest questions. Shout out to EC Homes.
Facts.
Shout out to EC Homes. I'm not sure. Do we share this? I think it's dope. Yeah, I think it's dope. Shout out to EC Homes. We realized that.
He's a brother.
We realized with the show, we do have a platform. and so
we realized 103 episodes in, man, we got people we talk to.
Time out. We realized with the show. We realized with the show that we do have a platform, and with a platform, one way or another, you're preaching some kind of ideologies. You're having some kind of influence. And I always fought against that in my immaturity, and I always it's not a platform, it's just us chilling.
Yeah.
And for some reason, every time in my immaturity, I sound like the Cookie Monster every time. And I don't know why, but cookies be flying out too. I'll be like, yo, wait, and just cookies be crumbling and just mad randomly. Just all of a sudden cookies appear. I don't know. What happened?
That's going to be the next product on a Marrio
What is
Esco
going
line.
on?
We got the Marrio Esco live. This is the Marrio Esco live cookie.
Marrio Esco live cookie. Write it down.
Yeah.
Write it down ASAP, man. Oh my goodness. Write it down ASAP. Hold up. Where's it? Oh, okay. I'll do that after. All right. Aha Gazelle. He left that thing. We were talking about what? Okay.
We were talking about what?
Me.
Yeah.
Something happened with me. Oh, the show.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I realized that,
Good job.
Thank you. I realized that, we need, this is bad. I shouldn't say this.
What?
I realized 103 episodes in, hey, Gil, we need accountability.
I retract that statement that he just said on live. No, I'm kidding. No, it's facts. You know what I mean? We out here talking about real stuff sometimes, man. Like
E.C. Holmes, welcome to the Marrio Esco live show, bro.
Welcome.
What'd you sign up for?
But yeah, man, we do.
No.
It is something
it's not
that we realize because of the fact that we are talking about real things.
We have a team. We have a channel. There are people with me. I'm not gonna just say that and make it appear.
But that is a
like,
part of it.
No, but yes.
You know what I mean?
So
there's a responsibility
with maturing, with over time, wrestling with different things and whatnot. We realized that that very thing, and so. Shout out to E.C. Holmes. That theology, though. I mean, that deity, though. My bad. That deity, though. My brother E.C. Holmes hosts that deity, though.
But when you listen to it, you will say that theology, though.
No, you will. That's why I was like, that theology.
He just went ahead of himself.
But he's actually agreed to join us as our accountability partner. He serves. We're with the same.
Give some hand claps, man.
Yeah, definitely. We're with the same network, the Bar Network. Shout out to them.
Yeah.
Well, he's actually part of the family. Like, he produces his stuff, he publishes his stuff through the network. We're more so like distant relatives, like, what up,
distant relatives.
We share each other's stuff, we support each other, we love each other, we always have. So super dope. So shout out to E.C. Holmes and them for accountability. So going back to Aha Gazelle, somebody running his social media, him not being distracted by social media, not feeling compelled to go in a certain direction, because as an artist and as a creative, you do want to speak to a culture of people. You do want to create music, because they always say you need to have your audience, what is your demographic. So when you're speaking about a demographic, to a certain extent, you're creating music that resonates with that demographic. So if that demographic is going a certain direction and the majority are going in that direction, you feel compelled as a creative to go in the same direction, to join. I don't want to say join the bandwagon, but if it ain't broke,
I don't know if that's the right one either.
And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Is that how you say it?
No, not in this analogy.
So I mean, it's a strategy that works.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a proven strategy that works.
By going with the flow.
Just go with the flow. Go with what communicates to the masses. That's what I'm saying. So go with the flow. Go with what works. This is what the people talking about. It makes all the sense in the world. You know what I mean? Like, everyone's jumping on that. But as a creative, that the journey with writing and mastering your art, and this is for my creatives. My creatives will know what's up. You get to a point where you can only begin to master yourself as a creative in that real, like, when you start getting into mastery, when you start like really pushing the envelope, and messing with your sound and messing with the way you communicate certain ideas through your music, and just really super creative with different plugins. And I can get geeky with it. My creatives know that there's a sense of a need, almost like a necessity, for inspiration to carry a concept that's powerful enough to make what secular would call, what normal people, what everyone would call a banger or a hit. Something that communicates in every aspect so well that it's like a masterpiece. Every single aspect is accounted for. Nothing's lacking. This is not a rush project. And artists get to a point of maturity in their creativity that they know they need that sense of inspiration. Otherwise, it's a gimmick.
Yeah.
And they know they can't imitate. Like for me personally, because I made Feeling Like Grass, it's a big, part of my life. I'm the host. It is what it is. For me, Feeling Like Grass. For me, Feeling Like Grass was that moment for me that I'm like, yo, I never want to create music the same way again. I want to try to recreate that whole event, that whole process of me creating that song. And that, I'm telling you right now, that can't come from gimmicks. That can't come from, yo, I got this crazy idea. Can you rap about this? It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way. It's you literally inspired by something. I'm trying to get inspired by the beat. I don't know if other artists do the same thing, but I let the beat just carry. When I hear the instruments and it's speaking to a certain situation in my life, like it's complementing the where I am in my life, the space that I'm at in my life.
Yeah.
It speaks to me. I'm like, yo, grab that beat because that I know it's gonna be because it's already moving me. There's no words to it, nothing. It already got me. That kick comes in, that snare comes in, the way that it's spacey, and you're like, ooh, I'm gonna cry all up in this beat, man. I'm gonna take this beat and just drop tears all over this beat. Yeah. You just want to get in the booth and just cry. You don't even want to sing nothing. I'm just gonna get in the booth.
I'm in a giant box of emotion. Yes.
Yo. But yeah, so sometimes you gotta know when to break away when it becomes too gimmicky. And so I feel like what Aha Gazelle is doing here is commendable, applaudable. More artists should be probably considering the same thing, especially during these times. Break away and just pray, man. Now's the time to pray. Get in the prayer closet, man. Now's the time to pray. It's funny because people would say now's the time to take action.
That is action.
And that is action, man. Now it's time to pray, bro. More than ever.
Yeah.
It's not the times that are lackadaisy that you're supposed to pray no matter what. I don't want to say that. But you pray more when it gets more difficult and more challenging. Pray more.
Yep.
Somebody I heard a pastor say that there was an example of this one pastor, younger pastor that he was discipling. And he was like, oh, there's so much I got to do. I can barely pray. And he was like, there's so much you got to do. You have to make time to pray. And that was like a different perspective, a different way of seeing it. Like, wow, like because so much you got to, because you got so much responsibility, get on your knees and go pray. You better make time to pray. And who are we to say like, oh, I'm so busy. When Jesus himself woke up at like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and went out to the wilderness, isolated from everybody and prayed. God in the flesh prayed.
You'd be like, he didn't have nothing to do. My bad. He was saving the world.
He was dying for the sins, past,
preaching
present,
every
future,
single day to the masses.
Yeah.
Every day, walking miles and miles. Do you understand that?
What up, Frankie? I appreciate it, brother.
There was no whips.
Welcome to the show. It's going to get a little crazier, but yeah, so Aha Gazelle.
It's crazy.
Anything else you want to say off Aha Gazelle? I didn't want to ramble, and I'm sorry.
No, I think it was a good move, and I think, like you said, I think other artists should consider it and just have us more focused on the music and how to become experts in what we're doing. Think about it like that you're focusing on just one thing. How amazing would you perfect that craft if you would just focus on one thing? But realistically, just, creating this. Now market it. Now I gotta post it here.
Yeah,
I gotta post it there. I gotta create an interesting tag so that way people can look at it.
I
have to do the hashtags.
Dude.
I have to do at least a minimum of 25 hashtags because if not, it's not enough hashtags.
It's tiring.
It's like, yo,
it's tiring.
I just want to create music. If I was just able to go in the booth and just sit there and make songs and have somebody just hit record and I'm just in there just going off.
Facts.
Like, yo, next beat. And just vibe out, whatever comes out, whatever. Next beat.
Yep.
And just mumble a whole bunch of songs.
Just get in the booth and cry.
Yo, and then just come out, listen to all that junk you could record it and find some sort of inspiration and be like, ooh, that was a dope little riff. That melody was fire. And those are my worries.
Yeah,
is this riff fire enough? rather than how many likes did I get.
In all reality, bro, in all reality, you know what a lot of those struggles are? It's just the reality of our situation. So like, there's someone listening probably right now. Stephen Malcolm, what up, brother? Call me a prophet. You listen right now. All right. And he's like, I don't have those problems. I'm chilling. I'm performing everywhere. I'm doing I don't have none of it. I don't relate to anything he's talking about, because he's a young boy, got signed as a young man. And that's the sovereign path that God put Steve Malcolm on. Yeah. Where he put us on this really bumpy road, probably to start this podcast and talk a bunch of stuff to a bunch of to an audience that's not, we can't see, we don't know. Like we don't know. Like,
talk to nobody
this whole time. That's what I mean. Yeah, that. So
nobody here, no audience.
Nah, real talk. I love the people that we build with. Real talk.
Of course.
I love the people that we
I know what you
serve.
mean. It's just weird, like, because we're just having the show.
Yeah.
But there's nobody really here to talk to.
There's nobody.
It's not like the people who are here, like Josh Griffiths. We're like, yo, what up, Josh Griffiths? Yeah,
I don't even know if Josh is still around. Right? You see what I mean? Like, we don't know. Like, two could have came wet. Who knows?
Could have came in and be like, this is whack.
Yep. Who knows? It's very, it's very, it's very
fickle.
Loose. Fickle. Thank you. Yeah, very fickle. So it's just being faithful with the audience that we have and trusting in the Lord to do his thing. It just comes with the territory. And I think all of it is really, it really comes down to the sovereignty that he placed us on in order to birth what we're doing now.
Yep.
And understanding that there's blessings in the freedom that we have. If you're an artist or creative that's working a 9-to-5 gig, in most cases, believe it or not, your 9-to-5 gig is probably you're banking compared to some of the artists that are out there that have to go on tour to get their money, that have to make a certain number to make their money. So in a way, you're kind of forced as an independent artist who's taking your career seriously in the music world. Yeah. You're kind of forced to play the game. You kind of like trapped to play the game because that's what sells. Whatever sells is what works. And if you're starving for money, or if you need to meet a certain number, you got to do what you got to do.
Yep.
And that's where, how far do you take that? How far are you going to go with that? How is it going to be disingenuous? Are you going to do the gimmicks? Are you going to do some of the gimmicks? Like how far? And that's based on the conviction of the individual. But going back full circle to us, if you're a creative who's working a 9-to-5, you're probably doing a lot better than a lot of other artists. And you probably have a lot more freedom to create the music that you want to create, whatever you feel like, whatever you feel like in the moment. You got no time. You got no deadline. You got nobody over your shoulder like, you owe me this. No, you got all the freedom in the world. You're making your money. You're paying your bills. You're taking care of your family. And
but the flip side though is that because you have that 9-to-5, you don't have all the time.
Tampa, Florida, in the building.
Creating. You don't have all the time in the world to be creating.
Facts.
You're dedicating 40 hours of your week to this job, and whatever time you have either in the morning or at night before you go to bed. And if you have children, that's even less time because most kids don't go to bed on time. So where do
your priorities lie? You know what I mean?
It's difficult. So you aren't financially in a hardship as an artist if you have a full-time job because you got your job and you're not depending on that music money. Right. But in the flip side, you can't concentrate on that music solely and improve it and get more sales.
You can't. However,
because you have that job.
However, check this out. There's the human perspective, right? Here's the godly perspective, or the spiritual perspective, or the biblical perspective, whichever you prefer.
Which one doesn't send me to hell?
Okay, check it out. Joseph. David. Sorry, David. Mm-hmm. David played. How do you pronounce that thing? Lyre. What's the lyre? Is that how you say it?
You mean the harp?
Well, lyre, harp, whatever it was. He played an instrument, right?
Yeah.
Was he a master of that instrument?
No.
What was his career?
He was a dream.
No, what was his career? David, not Joseph. I messed you up. David. What was his career?
He was a sheep herder.
He was a shepherd.
Yeah, shepherd.
Right? He wasn't a full-time musician.
No.
Yet, when the Lord when the Lord entered David, when his spirit entered David, he had the ability to play that harp to the point where it blessed Saul, who was being tormented by a spirit. Was it skill that casted that spirit out of him every time that David played?
No,
or was it
the Spirit of God?
It was the Spirit of God.
Yeah.
So even though you have a lack of time as a husband, as a father, working a 9-to-5 with being faithful to your family, if you are being faithful to feeding yourself the word of God, God's Spirit, God Himself, and we're Christians, so let's not be naive to spirit and truth. I don't know when it became cool to throw spirit out. I don't know when it became cool to make logic trump biblical truth. I don't know when that happened.
It's because when the word spirit got overly
used or whatever. Yeah. Well, the truth of the matter is that it was the Spirit of God that casted out that spirit that was tormenting Saul whenever David played the harp.
Yeah.
He wasn't a masterful, he wasn't like, oh, I gotta do this to the point where my shepherding is interfering with my music career. Oh, my shepherding is interfering. Dad, you're making me tend to these sheep and I want to play the harp for a living. Dad. Doesn't that sound familiar? That sound like a bunch of these young little rappers.
I want to be a hopper artist.
I don't want to work my 9-to-5. I want to be a rap superstar and live large with big cars and hot. You know, like that. Don't it sound familiar? Don't it sound familiar? Yo, be a man of responsibility. Take care of your family, young man.
Yeah.
He's sitting there like, oh, let the Lord, and I'm just gonna walk off the cliff. Okay, let's go with that. Let's go with faith. Walk by faith and not by sight. It sound familiar?
Yeah.
Didn't Satan say, hey, Jesus, throw yourself off this cliff and the angels will be sure to catch you before your heel touches the ground? Really? Walk by faith and not by sight, Jesus. Even Christ himself was no fool. You dumb. Jesus could have walked off that cliff and floated. He could have shut up the serpent by saying, okay, word, boom, and floated. But he didn't even go that far. He didn't even stoop that low. He simply told him, I know what I could do, brother, and even you are not going to tempt me. It's also written, do not test your father. You know what I'm saying?
Super dope. I believe that Jesus was a G.
Yo, so
the G of all G's.
Yeah.
G-O-D.
Yo, so yeah.
A little bit of dad joke there.
I say that to say that, yo, you're an artist, you're creative, but you have responsibilities, you have things. Yo, enjoy the freedoms that you have. Because you're not, it makes it seem like the artist that doesn't have the 9-to-5 has the freedom, but he's actually bound to the expectations of his audience and his demographic. He's locked up and imprisoned to the systems. Unless he keeps making bangers to the glory of God, that's super fire, and the Lord is with him and blessing his journey. Stephen Malcolm, I'm praying for you, brother.
Thanks.
Stephen Malcolm, I'm praying for you, brother. I see you. I also see the pride.
You also see the what?
I also see that young man's spirit, that hunger, that grizzly that needs to prove something. It's a little cub that wants to be like, I'm the grizzly. I know that hunger. I know that some of that can be used to perfect your craft and everything, but don't get so caught up with it. Don't let it be the thing that grabs hold of your heart. Don't let it be the motive that pushes you in that direction, because some of that pride and some of that ego can take you in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
we've learned that far a few times.
Yo, let's jump into a track, man. I talk too much. Yo, I love y'all. I see y'all talking in here. We got Jay up in here. This is more vulnerable than money. You can bounce back from financial, but there's no recovering lost time. God and family first. Your mixtape should play second to that. Amen, brother. Yo, hand claps for Jay. We love you, brother. Amen. Amen. Salute. That's a dope point. Dear young CHH artists, don't quit your job at Chick-fil-A. Those bots aren't gonna pay themselves. Yo, facts. I mean, the bots can help you, to a certain extent, but if you don't got the money to play the game, then don't play the game. The Lord will be the one to decide. You know what I mean? Like, the Lord will be the one. First of all, don't pay the bots. Try to find organic reach. Like, actually use Facebook. Creative tip real quick before we jump into a track. Creative tip. I saw an email came in that said promote where the people are at. Use the systems where they're at. So a lot of us use the link tree that allows people to go to wherever, this and that and this and the other. Yep. You want to promote using those. So Facebook, use the Facebook advertisement in Facebook. The algorithms work for that. Use a marketing design specifically for Facebook. Use the marketing design specifically for IG. Use the marketing designs specifically for all these platforms.
And the dope thing about using these platforms is that they give you the ability to target. So you can literally put Christian, hip hop,
facts.
Like
Jay.
you can target
Facts.
those.
I prefer you, brother.
So if anybody has ever,
you're a marketer too. Drop your link.
Anybody's ever linked to a hip hop or Christian album, Facebook is going to use their algorithms to put that stuff in their face. That's what you're paying for. When you pay Facebook, now Facebook uses their data, all the way they narrow down people in their demographics, and they put it in front of those specific people. And you have that ability to filter your advertisements. So it's way more effective than if you had all the money to put a billboard, because a billboard hits everybody. But imagine being able to have a billboard on the people that are most likely to buy your product.
Facts.
And that's essentially what you do when you pay for Facebook.
Yeah, use the real systems that are there.
Yeah, they literally put it right in people's face. So if they're likely to buy that style of music, they're going to buy your stuff.
Yeah. And then that's another thing too.
But bots and all that, that's not like, I don't know, that doesn't really create true opportunity for finance. Right. All it's doing is creating people to like it, view it. You get views, clicks, and stuff like that. But what you want is engagement that actually purchases. You know, that's what you're looking for. And Facebook allows you to just do that. Pay it.
And it gives you reach. It gives you smart reach, because it puts it, like you said, it puts it in front of the people that's most likely to buy your stuff, and it puts it in front of as many as possible. So that's the game, right? And that's the honest game. Like all you're doing is reach at that point. You're fishing at that point. Yeah. It's just an honest game. That's business.
Exactly. You know? Now your job is to create the best product possible. Therefore, that advertisement you're paying for.
Going back to, if you don't have it, don't feel compelled to use it.
True. It's all within your means.
As a Christian, we're trusting in God in this process. If God ain't meant for it to be, it's because there's something that needs to be worked on. There's something there or there's something that you shouldn't have at that moment. I think that God's kind enough to make people get it. As soon as you start really casting your idols, and the clearer you start seeing the landscape of your life, and then you can start seeing the wolves, and then you're like, oh shoot, I didn't know that was right there.
But I mean, that's
like I didn't
ultimately like. That is something that's completely forgotten, is that we don't put enough stock in actual prayer, that God can move the hearts of people to help you.
Well, what up, brother? I love you, brother.
Stuff. Like, it's like
Tupac,
you know what I mean?
I see you.
Prayer is like becoming more and more kind of like overlooked.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because
even in social issues, they're like, you can't pray that away. Like, what do you mean, bro? Have you read the Bible and seen what prayer has done in the Bible?
But that's the thing. Like, you see, we're talking about faith, right? So some people use that same thing that we're talking about, faith, to quit their job and pursue their career. You see what I'm saying? So
it could become slippery.
There you go. Yeah. So you got to have this healthy sense of what the Bible is, man. What is this Christian walk? You know, like you just gotta have a healthy sense of what is this all about.
Yeah,
it's a never ending. Well, it ends, but never ends. Yeah, kind of everlasting. Yeah. And now I'm getting super theological and like, yo, let's jump into the track. Here is John Keith, Bag featuring Nobigdyl. I hope this is the right one. If not, I'll correct myself after. Here we go.
Yeah, we gon' ride till we die. Pick a side, feel it right. I've been in my bag. We gon' ride till we die. Pick a side, feel it right. I've been in my bag. We gon' ride till we die. Pick a side, feel it right. I've been in my bag. We gon' ride till we die. Pick a side, feel it right. I've been in my bag. Look, hop in the whip or get out the way. Ain't no flip-flopping over here, it's Nikes and J's. I got crowns on my hoodies, purple blood in my veins. St. Keith is a team, I'm just the one with the face. Yeah, catch him, little holy. Said, bro, we so dope, you know it. I hit back and said we rich, cause the life he gave me is goldie. So we can kick back Shinobi, cause God got my back. And I've been tell with these to keep the piece of shade to me so easily. side, screw a deal, we taking flight. We gon' ride till we die. Pick a side, feel it right. I've been in my bag. We gon' ride till we die. Pick a side, feel it right. I've been in my bag. We gon' ride till we die. Pick a side, feel it right. I've been in my bag. We gon' ride till we die. Pick a side, feel it right. I've been in my bag.
Okay, I've been in my bag like I got some groceries in here. Yeah, sleeping on me like it's melatonin in here. Yeah, I'm in the lab and I got the brownies in here. Yeah, rap is too easy, we making oldies in here. Like shoe-doo, my demons using voodoo. I plead the blood like Suwoo. Your verses smell like doo-doo. You tryna stream like Hulu. I'm tryna free the free world. I probably got a loose screw. When Dilly drop that new, there go your crew and you too. I look just like my father's image, but honestly the mirror is my opposition. Yeah, had a talk with Yahweh, now I got a mission. Told me to make brothers out the competition. Yeah, truth behind my bars, you gotta call them collect. Indie tribe, I might just get the tat on my neck. Monster at the least, and I'm a savage at best. Wait, Mowgli, man, a holy, you could have all the rest. Hey,
we gon' ride till we die. Pick a side, feel it right. I've been in my bag. We gon' ride till we die. Pick a side, feel it right. I've been in my bag. We gon' ride till we die. Pick a side, feel it right. I've been in my bag. We gon' ride till we die. Pick a side, feel it right. I've been in my bag.
Yo, 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 that was John Keith Bag featuring Nobigdyl. Shout out to John Keith. Shout out to Ruslan. And Kingdom, what is it called? Yeah.
What do you mean?
His label, what's his label called? We should know that.
Oh,
Kingdom
my bad,
sign.
man.
Yo, your Kingdom.
Caught me off guard.
Yo, your man got the, what's that?
The chancletas,
Chancletas with socks on. Who? Wait, who?
I think in the video somebody had him. I didn't notice that. I didn't notice that. Dang, bro.
That's the way to rock.
Now that makes me
man.
want to go back and watch it again.
That's the only way to rock. How you supposed to do it? King Dreams. Thank you. Thank you,
King
Jay.
Dreams. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. My bad, Ruslan.
King's Dreams. All right.
We don't claim to be accurate reporters.
Oh, man, Jay,
times.
You know what it is.
We said this many times.
Jay, you know what it is. All right, back to Kanye.
We gon' ride.
Back to Kanye. Wash Us in the Blood. Featuring Travis Scott. Okay. Goes against the grain.
Yeah. To be frank.
Does his thing. Is this for an album coming up?
I don't know.
What'd you feel about Travis Scott? I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny. Travis Scott trying to be Christian with it.
I'm gonna say this.
Like, where's he going?
This track allowed me to see features in a little bit of a different kind of way. Like, I understand the point of view, like, oh, you know, if you're doing a Christian track and you're a gospel artist, you know, you should do tracks with gospel artists, you know, that share the same belief. But it made me think, like, these dudes were saying biblical things. Why is that bad? If let's say I was able to afford let's say Snoop Dogg.
Oh, you're getting into a good topic.
But here. I'm telling him what he's gonna say. He's not gonna say the sticky icky of the shit with the Christ. Like, no. I'm talking about, like, I'm gonna
wait, what was that? Can you do that one more time?
The sticky icky is the top of the Christ. Oh, you know what I'm saying?
Can you do it for the camera though?
It's the sticky icky it's the top of the Christ. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. Just as evidence.
But I'm just saying, like, if it was something like he's making it up, he could say whatever. He could say something reckless. He could say something heretical. He could say whatever. But if you're writing everything and it's biblical, you know, it's sound, but it's coming out of Snoop Dogg's mouth on your track.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of, like, why would that be wrong?
Can you think of a time where an unbeliever praised God in the Bible?
What do you mean?
Can you think of a time where an unbeliever praise God, or somebody?
No, because they're unbelievers and they wouldn't praise God.
I think of, like, not praise God in that way. I mean, like, praise God and recognizing that, oh, he is powerful. You know, like
wow, that God,
your God is powerful.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
And they sort of like
recognize.
Well, the Bible says, "Do your good works before the eyes of people, so that way they can, praise your God."
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Yep. So go ahead.
So the point is, go.
I don't know, man. You were on to something, and I just wanted some clarity, and now I lost myself in the moment of me trying to get clarity.
I'm saying that if let's say an artist that is famous wanted to do a track with you, and he's not Christian,
I remember my point.
Why would that be wrong?
My point is, biblically speaking, is there something that kind of like hints at an example of what you're giving in the Bible?
I mean, the only thing I can think of is don't be unequally yoked.
So Joseph was with Pharaoh. Was that unequally yoked?
No.
You sure?
No, because he was kind of an influence on him. A positive influence, in fact.
He married an Egyptian.
What do you mean? Wait?
Joseph married an Egyptian.
Yeah?
He's supposed to be with the people of God. You're supposed to marry with the people of God.
Oh, I see your point. Okay.
He married an Egyptian. He got influenced by the culture. He became one with the people. You don't think he was unequally yoked?
Yeah.
What do you people say? Yeah. Yo, Jay, what do you say? The prayer,
but I'm still confused on how you're trying to make a point.
I'm trying to say, like,
what I'm saying.
No, not refute. I'm trying to say, is there an example that we can see in the Bible that kind of like says what you're saying, and it's like, okay, yeah, there's no problem with this, or is this something that's saying you're unequally yoked? Because people would say, you doing a track with Snoop Dogg, regardless of what he's saying out of his own mouth, his lifestyle completely conflicts with your lifestyle. It opposes your lifestyle, regardless of what he's saying on your track.
Then I would say, so every single person you encounter is a part of your lifestyle and worships God and praise God?
Well, in this case, you're saying...
When you go to work?
In this case, you're saying this is my ministry. This is something that I do to honor God. This is something that's sacred to me. And then you, and then you share that experience of you honoring God and in that sacred, relationship that you have. Mm-hmm. And now you're inviting somebody who doesn't have that relationship that you have. So it's really just an empty praise, if you will. Because if the song is praising God and you're not a Christian, you're not a believer, how are you praising God?
But you're praising God. So it doesn't nullify your praise just because you added him to the track.
Yeah, but I know that it's I don't know what's the motive? What's the purpose? I guess that would be the question.
Well,
is it just like, I just want to do a track with Snoop Dogg is here. He's in the studio and he likes my track that I'm working on. He's like, yo, can I jump on that hook? What do you do in the moment? Oh, Snoop Dogg, you gotta get baptized.
For real?
Like, Snoop Dogg, you gotta.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it'd be different if you
baptize you.
Before you go on this track, I baptize you.
You just creep up on Snoop Dogg. You just got a random bowl in your pocket of water. Just like, perfect opportunity.
The only thing that fits is
I've been waiting for this my whole life.
His nose is the only thing that fits. I baptize you.
I baptize you. When he comes up, he's a Doberman. No,
like, I'm just saying, like, is it wrong? Is my question. Is it wrong? Like, I'm not saying you're actively looking like you need a whole catalog of celebrities. I'm saying, like, if it happens and the artist is like, sure, yeah, I'll hop on this track, you know what I mean? And you're controlling the narrative. I'm just saying, like, why would that be wrong? I'm not the type of person that would want that. I think, honestly, artists should stand on their own. They shouldn't seek for features. That's just my opinion. Unless it's like someone you have a relationship with and you're like, yo, you my dude. Like, it would be dope to do a track. I think that doing a track with someone just because of their fame is kind of lame. That's just my opinion. But I'm saying, is it wrong for an artist to do something like that? That is Christian and decides, I just want to do his track with him. Like, he's not saying nothing on his own. He's not telling me, he's not preaching beliefs or whatever. He's in agreement with what I'm talking about. It's just, coming out of his mouth. Whether he believes it or not.
I think in that situation, it's just like, it's case by case. To be honest with you, like, it's just like in a real situation. I didn't even look at Travis Scott when I saw this.
Yeah.
To be honest, I didn't even. I was just like, it was funny hearing Travis Scott trying to have the same kind of ideologies as Kanye.
That's what I'm saying.
And it was like completely like, I don't even know where. I don't know. Maybe I got to go back and listen again. But I felt like where's Travis going? Like he's trying to be positive with it. He's like, well, I heard.
But he said bring down the Holy Spirit. Like
I know, but
that's
he said
very bold.
He said some other things. He says some other weird things with it. Can we just look? Can we listen real quick?
I don't guess why not.
I'm gonna bring it up. Okay, talk about something while I bring this up.
My question is that because it's like
I want to hear this.
And kind of using, the word of God doesn't go void. It doesn't, So whether it comes out of Travis Scott's mouth or it comes out of Kanye West's mouth or my mouth or your mouth, the word of God has power. So
yeah, amen.
So
amen
even if Travis Scott doesn't believe whatsoever and he's living this rebellious life, he's still saying things that are accurate, are powerful.
Did I really come that far that I didn't even catch that, what you're talking about right now?
What do you mean?
Like, I didn't even catch that.
He was saying, Holy Spirit, come down.
No, I know. I didn't even catch Travis Scott. Like, you're talking about the unbeliever doing a feature with the believer. Like, I didn't even catch that. I was just like, totally like, let me hear the song. Like, yeah. It's just nothing. I don't know.
Because Kanye West is out there,
I don't know,
boldly proclaiming his faith, that he is a Christian. He's he believes in Jesus Christ.
I just feel like it's not even
now he's
thing.
doing a track with a guy who's completely opposite and not proclaiming any kind of truths. He's just living his life, doing his videos any which way he wants. And Kanye still felt like, yo, I'm gonna put him on the track.
Hold up.
But yet he was saying some profound things.
I wonder if they block us from that.
I mean, it's not. It's a track being played over.
Where is he?
The video.
I'm looking for. Okay, here it is. Here we go. All right, let me hear Travis Scott. Yeah. Let me hear what this dude is rambling. Set it off. Better state, still execute. Hold on. I should not kill. Yo, all right, yo, yeah, he's he's speaking real. We walking in a glass in the what? And Kanye was like, yo, that's enough. Yeah, look where we headed to. Wash us with the blood. Wash us with the blood. He was like, yo, shut up. Wash us with the blood.
Did he really cut him off at that point?
Did you not hear it? He was like, nah, look where we headed to. Listen.
Did he cut him off right there?
No, I'll bring it back. Rendezvous. Yeah, he's like, yo, forget that.
Rain down.
Now look where we headed to. Get that out of here, man. Rain down on me. He just wanted to worship. He's just like, yo. He just wanted to worship. He's like, enough of that.
Yo, you even flip it up. You came with the same flow. Like, I don't know.
Nah, you'll get flagged. Oh, yeah, true. Avoids all music on his pod. Yeah, true. Did you hear it? I'm sorry. Hopefully you didn't hear it.
They're going to blank it out. It doesn't matter.
All right. Well, there you go. So Travis Scott jumped in, try to do his thing with it. I love it. I love where Kanye's at. Hand claps for Kanye. I'm praying for him. I love where he's at. I think he's a young believer.
At this point, is like
I pray
it's only
that's
gonna
true.
Hurt if he keeps on going with the Jesus, and he's not really a believer. It's only gonna hurt his career.
You know what's crazy, bro? Is like
that's what the Bible promises for us Christians.
I wonder if every single Christian hip hop artist was speaking about God at some point in their hip hop career before they became a Christian. Because I experienced that. Like personally, I had tracks that were like almost Christian.
Oh yeah, I remember you.
But I wasn't influenced by like it wasn't
gospel.
I don't have
music.
a Christian. I wasn't raised in like a Christian home. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Going to church every Sunday, pastor, new theology. I wasn't raised that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I had a desire to know about the God of the Bible somewhat. And it was like hints at it. Kanye, you kind of see hints at him like in his pride, like talking about he's God. Like everything was kind of heading toward that.
Yeah.
And he was wrestling with that. And then all of a sudden, he flipped it up. Like, seems that the Lord saved him. That's what it seems.
It seems consistent, man. I mean,
but is I wonder if in every artist that there's a past of them kind of hinting at God or questioning their faith a little bit. You know what I mean? Like I wonder if that's true.
We all struggle with some sort of like question. You know, what are we here for? You know what I'm saying? I think there's not one person in the world that hasn't asked themselves.
Where do we go from here when life ain't fair? My eyes with tears.
Oh, that's a classic.
Are we living just to lose?
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
You heard it live.
You know you're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah. Might as well.
Sing it, bro. I love that song, bro. That song.
I don't even remember that part. That end part, I was wondering if you remember.
That's a track from Gil, by the way.
You know we're gonna do it.
You know we're gonna do it anyway.
Why does that end part sound like the end of a one of them TV shows?
What TV
like,
show? Like a talk show or something?
Yeah, like, we're coloring, we're happy, and we're singing, and we're coloring. Here we go, fine.
All right. Yeah, cool. Kanye did a track. Travis Scott, go peep it.
Go peep it.
What else we got? Wash me with the blood. Wash me with the blood. Yo, I like his swag. I like his energy. I love how his face was crystallizing. Before we jump to the next one, the video. What'd you think of the video?
That's what I'm saying. I love how his face was crystallizing for no reason. As he's talking about washing himself over with the blood of Christ, his face is going like this, and it's just crystallizing. Just back.
If you see the video, you can see it. Like it's, I mean, it's crazy. It has some shots of like people
it's crazy.
Protesting and some weird things going on, and some like some riots going on. Like he has all these different weird collages of videos of things that are happening currently.
Yep.
It's not like any storyline. It's not like any kind of like. It's just Kanye being Kanye,
like
bro.
It's just, that just rolls.
He's just crazy with it.
Just a roller skate.
I love you, bro.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
there's a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah.
So when you watch it, just you know,
it's something different.
keep an open mind. Very open mind.
All right. Armed couple, St. Louis.
Oh, this is crazy.
Protesters break in.
Yes.
To an iron gated community.
Nuts.
Oh no, they break after breaking iron community gate.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Okay. Was that verified by the way?
Yeah, they broke in the gate.
Okay, so they broke in through the iron gate.
Yep. Then they walked into the gated community.
They walk in protesting. So right off the bat,
it was like one of the first houses.
Trespassing.
Then they went into their gate.
Yep.
Walked in on their lawn.
And that's when you see Homeboy come out.
And Homeboy comes out
like,
with his rifle.
Looking like Rambo. He's just
he looked like Rambo with a collared shirt.
It looked like I could hear. I wonder how that happened. I wonder if she was like watering the plants, looked outside and said, "Oh my goodness, Bob,
honey, get the gats,
Bob. They're in our community." Bob was like, "Honey, get me thy slippers. Give me my slippers from my AK right now." She's like, "I'll take the revolver, honey." They go out armed up, clack, looking like Rambo.
They were defending.
Slippers on. Looked like he was.
She looked a little too proud with her little pistol, though.
She had an attitude, dude. She had one finger on the trigger and the left hand on the hip.
She looked a little too proud.
She was like this.
Yeah.
She looked like a little teacup.
The thing is that's crazy is that
need to pour out.
Now you can't even defend yourself without being called like now you in suspect. Like you defending yourself and you a suspect. Like these people came on their property.
Oh wait, what? You're giving me your perspective on this?
No. I'm just saying, like automatically people are just saying
you're siding with the Rambo.
No, I'm just looking at it as
give me your perspective. Go ahead.
Just an outside bystander looking at the situation, unbiased.
Okay,
I'm seeing
first. Did we unfold
large
the story?
Crowd? Okay, so we said most of it. So the protesters came into this gated community. They broke the gate down, and
were they? Oh, obviously they weren't being led by police.
No,
you're supposed to be escorted by the police.
They would have probably been taken out. So that's another thing that this community has. Some sort of security police typing, employees that work there, and these people went past that gate.
I knew it. Dude was sitting on the patio having dinner. I pictured something like that. Like,
yo, facts. Hey, that sounds appropriate.
Chilling, socks.
Like, honey, do we have any more scallops? Do we have any more scallops?
And maybe she went to the kitchen.
Yep.
That's what it was. She went to the kitchen.
And oh my
she
goodness.
looked out the window. Honey,
there is a ruckus.
The protesters broke into our gated community.
What do we do?
And that's when he ran out. Okay, go ahead. So they break in. There's no police escorting them.
Yeah,
the gated
so
community
they look
have
outside.
Their own security.
They don't see any of their security people outside.
Oh, they weren't there.
No, they weren't there. In the interview, they were interviewing them. They were like, "We have security. We saw that the security wasn't there, and we're seeing over 30 people entering in our yard, like just straight up flooding in more and more." It's like, so you're seeing what's going on in the news. You're seeing the riots. You're seeing people just coming in, destroying property. So what is the first thing? This is the media. This is what they're showing people. So you can't expect now people to look at everything they're showing with the riots and all this stuff that they're taking over blocks. And then now they come and see people coming in their lawn. What do you think they're going to think?
Yeah.
They're going to try to take over my house. They're going to burn my house down because that's what
you said it's unbiased.
Huh?
You said it's an unbiased opinion.
I'm saying this is
because
this is what I'm seeing on the media.
Okay.
All I'm seeing is what the media is showing me.
Okay.
I'm seeing that there's rioters all the time. I'm seeing that these people are being treated unjustly by the security.
I see behind the curtain, right? Like,
yes. And I'm telling you what I'm seeing. So
I'm with you.
Innocent bystander. So they're seeing these people just come in. They reach for their guns.
I love it.
And they point it at these people and they're telling them you're trespassing, which also there was in the video footage. You do see it to the left that says private property.
Yep.
So these people are coming onto
there's no escort.
property.
There's no security. You have the right to bear arms. You come outside on your own property and
see
you say,
30, 40
hey,
people.
yo, you step on my property, it's going to be a problem.
And he didn't even say that. He just said, get off my property. You need to go. This is private property. There's signs. You need to go.
Yep.
Just get out. He wasn't saying if you move any closer, I'm going to pump you full of lead. Like, no, he wasn't threatening.
Wifey sure looked like it.
She looked like it, but she still didn't say nothing.
Okay.
And there's a question, too. She shouldn't have had a finger on the trigger.
Okay, there you go. You're not supposed to have your finger. You only put your finger on the trigger when you're ready to shoot.
If there's an imminent threat.
Matter of fact, they did a test proving that there really isn't a difference between whether you have the finger on the trigger or you go to shoot, like go to put the finger on the trigger to shoot.
Yeah.
They did a speed test and it's like
milliseconds.
It's not even worth having your finger on the trigger to create an accident.
Well, they say, I just want to be ready to shoot.
No. No. There's no real big difference. So when you got your gun, don't panic and don't put your finger on the trigger. Keep it on the side.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe that's a different YouTube channel.
Well, honestly,
how to handle guns. Like,
honestly, the guns don't even need to be pointed. All they need to do is to be shown. Because if they're not approaching you, if they're not like stepping towards you and showing any point of aggression, then there's no need for you to show aggression.
That's why homeboy was like this with the AK.
Facts.
He was just like,
she was the one that was like,
what up?
She was like,
She's ready to
any
buck.
one of y'all step
She's
on
like,
this.
I got cookies baking right now.
Any one of y'all step on this Italian marble and watch.
I don't got time for this. Hurry up. Make your rounds.
So that part was wrong. I'll give it to the people in regards to her having her finger on the trigger ready
to buck.
But in reality, that's
the kind of wifey I want.
Yo, a lot of people are like, yo,
the figure,
that's wifey
trigger,
right there.
Get ready to rock, man.
Like
wow,
that's a wife.
That's the kind of wifey like.
Yo, she was not scared.
That's the kind of wifey I have.
Crazy.
How about hand claps for wifey? What am I talking about? I love you, baby. Baby.
She ain't here, man.
She got a gun. No.
Oh!
No.
You better say it.
All right. What else we got?
But I mean, I thought that was within their right, and I guess now they're being I guess they're trying to bring them into court for endangerment or something like that. Some of the people in the crowd is coming after them, and trying to sue them for intimidation or something like that. And I think this is unfortunate because if you didn't trespass, you would not be in this situation.
Facts.
And I think,
Stay
honestly,
off my property, man.
I don't think this is going to go anywhere. I think it's going to get released. I don't think any judge
bro.
is going to be like, you were wrong. You were having dinner on your patio, first of all. First mistake.
Minding your own business.
And then these people barge in, breaking in the front gate, which obviously shows aggression because they destroyed property already. And then you're going to have the nerve to take out firearm to protect your property?
Check this out. If you're a husband, father, or if you're, heading in that direction to be a husband, father, and you're a young man in the faith and everything, you have a responsibility to defend your family.
Yeah.
You have a responsibility to defend your lot.
Yeah.
You have a responsibility to tend to that lot.
And also, because it's relevant to this specific situation, because you have that responsibility to defend, you should be responsible in knowing how to defend.
Facts.
So the fact that she had her finger on the trigger clearly showed that she had a lack of understanding on how to defend her property and could easily lose because of that one simple mistake of showing excessive aggression with the finger on the trigger.
Yeah.
And that could have been easily prevented if she took some courses, like Jay said, that shows improper safety. And even if you watch just any gun safety rule, it will show that having your finger on the trigger is a big no-no. So I think that's really all that really needed to be addressed in this situation, other than the fact that they were broken into.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, a finger on the trigger showed lack of restraint and understanding of how to use a firearm.
So you have a responsibility to defend your lot, tend to your lot, know how to do things properly according to law, restrictions. Like, back in the day, last week.
Why did you do your voice like you were talking like your old man? Like
last month. I just grew up last month. No, but
about 6 weeks ago,
you kind of think like these things are irrelevant. You know what I mean? Like, especially for artists, it's hard for us to. We're already disconnected. We see things in a different lens. That's why we create. That's why we make music. It's the only way for us to connect the dots and make sense. My creatives know.
Yeah.
The fans who are just listening and don't create music, you probably have a harder time to understand that, but that's what makes the artist the artist. That's what makes them do what they do. That's what makes them tick. That's why they can't stop writing. That's why no matter what happens, they write. It's not, some people are not born with the desire to be rich and famous. That just comes with, for some, the desire to create, because the world says you got to make money off of this. But I believe that if you're born as an artist and you have that natural desire, you could be, if you could live just in the woods and everything's fine and you could create, that's what they would do. Artists would, that's what they would do. They would be like, I'm just going to live in the woods and create. Dope. Like if they could do that, if they could afford to have that freedom, just create, that's what they would do. So they see in a different lens. I don't even know why I brought that up.
You're saying just in this time with all this stuff, how artists can disconnect.
Yeah,
and,
okay. What's the point of that? Okay, yeah, a lot of us might, or not just for artists, for people who get caught up with work, like you idolize your job, and then you lack on tending to your lot. You might be so wrapped up in your work. You might do overtime. You might have 2 jobs, but then you got wifey at home. You got the kids. You're paying the bills, but you want bigger stuff, which requires more money, which requires more time for you to work for those things. Like sometimes we just got to know when to just live within our means and just enjoy life, man. And not continue to compete with each other and get the bigger this and the newer this. Like we got to learn to be content, man.
Yo, for real.
But what else, man? What else? I don't want to be a Debbie Downer.
No, I mean like
coronavirus is now picking up.
No. All
right, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer.
I'm just saying,
the next thing
this is a positive side.
Coronavirus.
There's a positive side to this because
reporting live.
A lot of people
from Revelation.
You don't have to get so caught up in this rat race where you forget that you have the freedom for other options. Like there's legit people out there in the world that live off the grid. That's an option.
That's improper trigger discipline. Anyone who's a gun owner should review the 4 gun safety rules. Yeah, it's one of the top 4.
Yeah, any gun safety class you take, that's
Facts.
like
so
top
Jay.
4.
Now I know Jay's carrying heat.
Yep.
right, brother. Now I know.
And then look at what he wrote underneath. He hath no Glock. Let him sell his North Face and buy one.
Luke 22:36.
KJ. Oh, that's awesome.
I love you, Jay, bro. Real talk. I can't wait to meet.
Yeah, man.
Coronavirus is picking up. They're talking about some other virus coming through, some swine flu again, some other stuff. Birth pains. We don't have enough time to really dig into the next horn or trumpet blast.
Of the revelation.
But yeah, these birth pains, it's not a laughing matter, obviously, but
it's just crazy because it's hitting all at once. Bro.
All at once.
That's the reason why it can be a little bit comical, because it's like you never would have expected.
Well, I mean,
you would have, a guy who was on a reality show become president, then the world gets hit with a devastating disease, and now everybody's forced to look like Mortal Kombat characters. You got literal people acting out Mortal Kombat scenes at Walmart for Purell and toilet paper. So it's, we're living in a crazy world right now, man.
Yeah. So it's a perfect time to cop your feeling like grass.
Yes,
shirt.
if you're feeling like grass, because I know you are. After you watch just 2 videos on YouTube on what's going on nowadays, you're gonna be feeling like grass too, withered.
Facts. So you need a shirt to go with it,
and you're gonna need a shirt.
And we got matching hats
because after you wash the shirts, you're gonna need something warm to cuddle in and to ball up like a baby.
The bait and switch,
and the shirt says "feeling like grass." You can ball up in a shirt that says "feeling like grass."
Real talk. We're in a weird space between entertainment and ministry. You know what I'm saying? It's always a weird space in this space. And there's always a wrestle because, our flesh is with us. Our old man is on our back and is constantly looking for ways to trip us up.
And if your head gets cold, we have a, feeling like grass hat that can help you in your life.
Wear the helmet of feeling like grass and the armor of You know what I'm saying? Like,
it'll expel the arrows of hate.
We're gonna jump into a track before we cut out. This is Big Breeze featuring TeeJay, Godfearing, which are some of my favorite artists, man. I love them brothers. Both who are on the show at some point. Love them brothers. But this is Trap Praise, and then we're cutting out. Yo, Jay, I love you, brother. Everybody rocking with us. I love you guys. Grace and peace till next week. Spread the word. Let them know. We love y'all. Latest.
You.
I'm be all I can be, cause I got racks. Keep him close, gotta keep my soul in peace. How you like that? Part of my truck got all this ice on me, all this ice. And I ain't gon' stop till they sing it, rest in peace. Who want it? Riding this whip, it say 200. Keeping big out in front, he a piranha. Sitting back while I take me a toes. We was praying to meet all our goals. Now look how he doing the most. Look who be doing the most. We going up on the globe. Falling my gun at my heart. I know they look at me like I'm a shark. I had a dip, I gon' hang with them narcs. I was just riding the one up a start. I know you look at me like I'm a menace. I had to sit back and just pray for forgiveness. I'm saving these people, these women, these children. I had to go once so they know I ain't finished. I had to show once so they know that I'm with it. Gave them a heart and he made me a savage. They plotting on me cause they know I ain't average. Boy, you be flexing it. Bible on me in case you wanna test me. I got big guy cause he gave me the regimen. Told the devil stop pulling my clothes. Keepers on me got me doing the most. I keep it pippin' though I'm all on the globe. Facts. Proud myself I'm be all I can be cause I got racks. Keep him close, gotta keep my soul in peace. How you like that? Part of my truck got all this ice on me, all this ice. And I ain't gon' stop till they sing it, rest in peace. Who want it? Riding this whip, it say 200. Keeping big out in front, he a piranha. Sitting back while I take me a toes. We was praying to meet all our goals. Now look how he doing the most. Look who be doing the most. We going up on the globe.
Strapped with this 66, who on it? Belt on my waist. praise costs a few hundred. You can't get a verse, keep your 200. How you a boss but your crew hungry? Forget her up next cause I got now. I turn up every time that I pop out. These demons like ops that get shot down. Girl, I'm working, can't talk, baby, not now. Fighting depression, this music my therapy. I would vent, but these people won't hear me. All this pain that was breaking and tearing me. In the churches, I'm dodging the Pharisee. They was eating, but didn't want to share with me. They was smart, but I knew they didn't care for me. Already knew that them folks wasn't there for me. So I ran on my funds like a charity. Been through so much in life like I'm Joe. I ain't had no hand to hold. Love my friends, but my enemies close. I gotta see what they own. Yeah, my mama told me to be strong. Cause the devil, he getting too bold. Never lie, man, the truth what I told.
If you're listening on the podcast, be sure to check out my Facebook music page, Marrio Esco 1. Again, 2 R's in my name, the number 1 at the end, Marrio Esco 1. Be sure to like and follow that page because I like to give updates on who I'll be interviewing and leave a description on what we'll be talking about. And I also like the real-time one-on-one back and forth interaction. If you don't have the time to join us on Facebook Live, be sure to check out my podcast. It's called Marrio Esco Live, 2 R's in my name. Again, you'll see the white silhouette of myself with the cross underneath. Be sure to subscribe to that and follow the link as well to whatever podcast you're using or however you're receiving the podcast, and leave us a review. We love to hear feedback. You can also hit me up at music@marrioesco.com and just hit me up with some feedback and ways that we can improve the show or the things that you like and enjoy. Any type of feedback will be highly appreciated. Grace and peace.